So then it was like, okay, well, we about to pull up to her house. Don't say nothing. What? What's good, YouTube? I'm back at it again with another video. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, we here, we locked in. But y'all, if y'all read by the title and y'all saw by the thumbnail, then you know what I'm doing today. I'm doing something a little different. I've never did this before in all the time of me even having my account. But I thought I'd tell this story time because I've told it to my boyfriend plenty of times and people that I know. But I just had to get it out there. I watch a lot of story times and everything, and I find them so interesting. I'm just like, why? I got a couple of things happen to me, so why not tell my story? I'm doing it a little different. So instead of me just sitting here doing my makeup and not having anything to talk about, I thought, why not just do my makeup and tell y'all a story while I'm doing it? This will not be a tutorial. I know I said that last time, but I ended up talking a lot, just blabbering because I was nervous. But anyways, this is really not a tutorial. I'm just gonna be going through the motions of doing my makeup. If you guys want to know what type of products that I am using, they will be down below. I'll make sure to list the products in the description, so check a look at that. Leave comments below if you want a certain video that you want me to do that requires an actual tutorial. But other than that, I'm just gonna be freestyling, doing something. And I'm not sure if I've seen many of these, and if I did, credit to the people that have already done it, but I just thought it would be something different. And this is a story that, I don't know, it's just crazy. And this happened, why is just my little cousin calling me? But yeah, I got my ginger ale right here. I love ginger ale. Okay. This story happened in 2019, so it's been about 3 years. And I'm not cool with people. So if you guys done knew me back then around that time, then you guys know about this story because I posted it on my Instagram. But other than that, it's been a while now, so I feel like I can tell it. I will not be saying the actual people's names because I don't need no unnecessary drama. I'm at a point in my life where I don't need any drama. I will be changing the names, but if you know, you know. Other than that, we just gonna cut right into this. Before we do that, again, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notifications so that you know every time I post a video. I promise you, this is just me getting starting back up with my channel. I'm gonna be having more content, fire content, better content, and you guys will eventually end up loving me. And I say that in the most humblest way possible. And I don't know if y'all like my hair. This is second day hair. I did a Barbie pony on myself for me and my boyfriend's shoot. Make sure y'all check out our couples channel as well, alexusdanee. That'll be on the screen somewhere. But yeah, if you guys came from that channel, what's up? We just gonna cut right into it. I'm gonna try to look in the camera as much as possible so it don't feel like I'm not engaging with y'all, but my mirror is right here. I'll probably put it like closer to the camera, that way it looks like I'm looking. But I don't know why I didn't do my brows before this because it's hard to talk. Oh, excuse me. I think I had like a list of what I wanted to, like how I wanted to do this. I never did this before. Basically, this is a story time. Y'all read by the title. I beat up my tattoo artist girlfriend. I know it's weird. Every time I tell that story to people or just say it like that, they're like, you did what? Yeah, so I'm gonna start off by explaining to y'all how we became friends, and then it's just gonna go from there. Okay, so the reason why I knew the tattoo artist was because my old friend that I went to school with in high school, she got her tattoos done by him or whatever, and not I'm missing a thing, but she had got her tattoos done by him or whatever, so I had hit him up to get my tattoos done. But we're like 2 years fresh out of high school basically. So I want to say I got my first tattoo done by this dude in 2017. 2017, y'all, mind y'all. It was just me getting tattoos. I want to say I got, how many tattoos did I get? Not me forgetting. I got 4 tattoos done by him, and they were all big pieces. Don't get me wrong, like I can't stand the hell out of these people, but he was a fire ass tattoo artist, and that's why I hate that it had to come to this, because he was the only person that I felt like I would let do a big old piece on me, just because like his skills were like so raw. My stuff, you probably won't see my tattoos on anybody else versus like, you know, you get on Instagram and there's a whole lot of people with the same tattoo, the same saying, the same roses, the same everything. Mine's always had like a twist to it. Everything was just different. If you see me or you see a picture of something, you're gonna know it's me. And that's what I hate too. But yeah, he was a dope ass tattoo artist, and that's why I kept going back to him. Originally, it was just me booking appointments with him to get tattoos. And around the time I was getting these tattoos, I was like in a depressed stage, so I would just go randomly, not randomly, but like, of course I'll hit him up and make an appointment, but I would just like randomly decide, oh, I want to get a tattoo done, because I don't know, it's depressing, but like when you're going through something, I'd rather get something that's painful to numb the pain. I don't know if that sounds stupid, but that's what I used to do. So basically, that's how I knew him. I was getting tattoos and everything. I followed him, he followed me. I knew that he had like a girlfriend or whatever, and it was never like, we were never on that type of time, like we were ever gonna date or anything. I was literally just a client, a good paying client, because my tattoos weren't cheap. I was paying $400, $300, $350, $450, you know, it was never nothing like that. I even recommended him to my brother. For my brother's birthday, I had paid for my brother to get his sleeve done. $400, okay? So it wasn't cheap, you know? Like, we was cool. We vibed and everything, like cool people. Whenever I would go get my tattoos done, you know? Because it would like be 6-hour, 7-hour sessions. So yeah, I knew he had like a girlfriend or whatever, because I would see him post her sometimes or whatever the case is, but I never like followed her. It was always just, I think the first time I like actually seen her in person was when, well, what was it? I had got my thigh tattoo done. I was going to get some like butterflies or whatever, but he ended up freestyling. So that ended up having me be there later than the time I expected to be there. So that was the first time I seen her. Like, she was cool. I thought it was gonna be, you know, because I don't know how people feel about like their dudes, like being tattoo artists and tattooing a female guys, you know, stuff like that. Oh, sorry y'all. But she was like cool, I guess. Just when it comes with that lifestyle, that's what you gotta deal with, you know? So she was cool at that time. I think we still didn't like follow each other. So I'm gonna say this was in 2019 when I had got the butterfly tattoo, but I wanna say it was around, what time was it? Cause I had just got my infinity and everything. So that was, yeah, the same year, 2019. It was around like April or something, cause I always tried to get these thigh tattoos and shit like that before my birthday so I could just pop out. Thought I was really doing something. Yeah, it was around that time, and that's when I actually met her in person. She seemed cool, we joked or whatever, you know. Everybody was around like, oh, you getting it? You know, she was trying to pitch in her ideas and what she thought that I should get. So that happened. I want to say my birthday was in June. My birthday is June 27th. I'm a Cancer. Let me know if I got a birthday twin out there. Yeah, so I'm gonna say she had just followed me like literally right after that. I guess she like found my page or something. So she had followed me. And then I was like, okay, cool. I'll follow her back or whatever. I don't have a lot of friends, so I'll post like some stuff like, you know, the memes and stuff with best friends and stuff. I always post best friend content, and I'll be like, damn, I wish I had a best friend, you know, shit like that. I was doing that at one point, and she was like always commenting on the stuff. Hold on, y'all, let me do this and then I'm gonna come back because I can't concentrate while I do it. Okay, y'all, so I'm back. I carved out my eyebrows. So anyway, I think, where was I? I think I was talking about how I met them. No, what was I saying? Okay, I would post like best friend content. I can't even talk. Basically like little stuff, like, you know, the besties. I know y'all know Jada Wada and her best friend is Dior. Little stuff like that, and I'd be like, oh, I wish I had friends to do this with, or I wish I had a best friend, blah, blah, blah. I want to get cute and go somewhere, but I ain't got nobody to do it with, you know, stuff like that. And for some reason, she would always swipe up. And I'm not even gonna lie, at the beginning, like I had already said, me getting my thigh tatted and stuff like that, you know, I don't know how you feel about females or whatever. Like, I didn't know how she was. So I thought at first she was gonna be like weird and stuff, but for some reason she was just like hella like into me. Like every time I would post something, she was all like, oh, I can be your friend, or we need to hang out sometime, you know, saying stuff like that. So I was thinking like nothing of it. I'm like, okay, well, that'll be cool because I already get tattooed by your dude or whatever, so that'll just be like killing two birds with one stone. Like, it would be cool, you know, just kicking it and I get tattooed. I'm gonna say this now because I know a lot of people will probably, some people probably watch this and just automatically assume. I was not trying to be her friend or get in good to get free tattoos or a discount or anything, because that wasn't the case. Like, she would swipe up and stuff like that, and I was all like, oh, I'm like, you know, I'm down, I don't mind, you know, I don't have friends, like, I wouldn't mind hanging out with you. It could be cool, you know, maybe she a cool person for real, and I just assumed, and I don't really know the girl. I'm gonna say when my birthday came up, I did like a little shoot, and my mom and my aunt, they took me to LA for my birthday. We went to the, I forgot what it's called, but it was that one concert in 2019. The Migos was there, Cardi B, you know, all those people. So we went to that. I can't even think of what the hell it was called, because if I say it, y'all gonna know. We went there or whatever, and we was just like doing stuff. But me, I don't have friends again. I'm hanging out with my mom and my aunt. They had little stuff going on that they wanted to do, but me, I was just like, damn, like, I enjoyed the trip like the first couple days, but then afterwards it was just, the rest of it, it was what they wanted to do, and I wasn't really down for that. I was ready to go back home. In the midst of that, she was like posting, we were supposed to hang out or whatever. I would watch her stories and stuff. She had, she was always with, we're gonna get into them. So I didn't even give them a name. So I'm gonna call the tattoo artist, I'm gonna call him Messy. And y'all gonna find out why I'm gonna call him that. And then for her, I'm gonna just call her Bucket. Bucket because she was a T-H-O-T, Bucket. And I don't wanna say that word and get, you know, YouTube trying to take my video down or something. Yeah, we just gonna call her Bucket. So basically, Messy's girlfriend, Bucket. Yeah, I don't know how I skipped over giving them names. So in the midst of me supposedly being on my way back to LA, I stayed in Sacramento. It's a 6-7 hour drive to LA. So we were driving back, so it was gonna take some time. She kept like tagging me. She had these friends, and we're gonna get, I'm gonna give the dude a name because this is the reason why we got into it. Wannabe or follower? I think I'm gonna call him follower instead of wannabe. He can have both names, but I'm gonna call him follower because I just felt like he was trying to be too much like Messy, and it wasn't given. It was just like, be your own person, my dude. That's what I'm gonna call them. So basically, she had these two friends, and they were like double dating, I guess. It would be with follower and his girlfriend at the time. So this whole time I'm thinking, okay, you know, they got their own little stuff going on. Even when I went on, but I can't even talk. So the time that I was supposed to be on my way back to Sac, she was posting stuff like, oh friend, can't wait till you get back out here, blah, blah, blah. Can't wait till you get back. We finna do this, we finna do that. So I'm like, okay, like, I really got a friend. You feel me? Like, that's how I felt. And I was like, oh, she, you know, she, like, oh my God. God has really sent me a friend. I was fucking wrong. But anyways, so she was posting stuff like that, like, oh, can't wait till you get back. She would tag me on a story. We was posting stories and stuff. When I get back, it's up, it's lit, you know that type of stuff. So I had got back, and I want to say the first couple of days when I was back, we did not hang out or nothing. And come to find out, we stayed at least like 5 to 7 minutes away from each other, literally down the street. When I got back, she had, like, I'm gonna say a couple of days after that, she had messaged me, and she was all like, Messy is going to go do a tattoo, like a house call or whatever, and did you want to go with us? Like, you can ride with us and just hang out with us there. I guess the person's tattoo he was doing, he was really cool with, so he didn't really care about who came over or whatever. So I was like, oh, you know, I was like, oh, okay, I don't mind, you know, I'll go. Why not? Like, we supposed to hang out anyway. This would probably be like good bonding time, or do tattooing, we just chilling, you know, doing what we do. So I go with them, and everything just seemed like cool. They ended up coming to, I sent them my address, and the only reason why I figured out that they stayed like by me is because when I sent them the address, they were like, oh, we'll be there in, you know, this time. And I was all like, how you gonna be there that quick? So they were like, give us like 7 minutes. So they pulled up and they were like, you know, we stay right down the street. So they picked me up or whatever. We go to this house. I want to say the house call he had was probably 20 minutes away from the both of us. We ended up going. Everything seemed cool. We was just chilling. Red flag was that the house that we went to was another tattoo artist's house. He had passed away, RIP to him, but his baby mama, she wanted a tattoo. So she was really close with them because I guess Mercier was really close with the tattoo artist that passed away. So the baby mama was like still in contact and would check up on her from time to time. So I was like, okay. Bucket was already talking about the girl. We getting ready to leave, like everything was fine. We get ready to leave, and the first thing she said is, you always tattoo her and this and that. I think she was saying something about how she didn't like her because she's always under Mercier, meaning like since they're always checking up on her and everything, trying to make sure she's okay and still in, you know, contact with them. She was saying something about she didn't like her because he's always basically catering to her and always like stopping what he's doing to go, you know, help her. For instance, she always calling trying to get tattoos and stuff done and shit like that, and I guess she didn't like it. So that was red flag number 1, but I didn't think nothing of it. I'm just like, okay, you know, they got their own issues. I'm not even gonna like intertwine with that. So we're on our way home. We're getting ready to like leave and stuff, and on our way home they call, who was it? I almost called him Wannabe again. I think Follower had called them or whatever. I didn't know it was him on the phone. You know, I'm not trying to be up in nobody's business or nothing like that. But basically, he had called and they were talking to him and stuff. And I guess they were making like jokes because I guess he was into it with his girlfriend, the girl that they were all hanging out with at one point. They all joking, talking shit about the girlfriend. That's when I just knew that I should have known then. But then I was like, whatever. Because you know, when you got friends, when you have friends that you're close with, their girlfriends and stuff, you don't have to be like close to them to be cool. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying, but I'm not gonna try to explain it. But anyway, so I feel like they weren't really her friend. They were just trying to be cool since he was always around to try to make him happy or something. So he had called and he was like going through it, talking shit, and they were talking shit too. Man, leave her, blah, 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 saying stuff like that. Man, you know how she is. They were telling him, I guess since we had to pass through where he stayed, I guess he stayed on the way going back to our house, basically, the area we stayed in. So since we were on our way, they were like, oh, well, since you called, come over, you know, we come pick you up right now, blah, blah, blah. So this whole time, since he was into it with his girlfriend, I didn't know what they were trying to do. I just thought they were like gonna go back to their own house. So at first he was saying he was gonna come. Whole time, I think he asked who was in the car too, and they told him that it was me. Only reason why I know, I'm gonna tell y'all how I know Follower, because he went to school with my brother. Well, we all went to school together. He knew my brother. I didn't personally know him like that. I just knew of him. So that's how I knew him. I knew who he was, and then when they would post him, I used to just wonder how they became so close. I don't know. Everybody knows everybody. Like, this city that I live in is just so small. So basically, he asked who they were with, and they like kind of told him. So first he said he was coming, but then I didn't understand what they were doing, but I guess they were trying to do like this whole little setup shit. Like, it was gonna be, what, a 2-piece, I guess? And since he was into it with his girlfriend, I don't know if they even really liked her from jump, but it was just like they were trying to get him to like move on hella quick. I'm like, damn, like he just got into it with her, you know? But I guess this was like a thing that would happen often. Me, I'm just now coming around. I didn't know. So they were like talking shit about the girl. He said he was gonna come, and then they started asking me if I wanted to stay the night at their house. Mind you, this is my first time hanging out with them. 2, he was doing my tattoos. I've never, like, I don't know, did business like that. I'm like, okay, I'm cool with your girlfriend, but like me staying the night at your house is kind of overstepping. So I told him, I was like, nah, I think I'm gonna go home. At first I was thinking about it, but I was like, nah, I think I'm gonna go home. And I'm glad I did. But I guess the dude called back and said that he didn't want to come no more. So they dropped me off at home and that was that. So that's basically how I basically told like a little side story, and I don't know why I just babbled about that. But that was like the first night that I met the girlfriend like officially. She was there when I was getting my tattoo, but that was like the first time we officially met and like hung out and talked and did what we did, you know. I guess now I'm gonna just talk about like red flags and why we got to where we got. So the reason why we got to where we got, it just seemed like everything was just too good to be true. Like everything just seemed, not saying everything was perfect, but it just seemed like, how would you say? I don't know. She was just trying to be like bestie foresties. And I was just there, you know, like not there. I wouldn't say it like that, but I was still trying to fill her out. And she was just automatically jumping the gun. She just, oh, we're close and you're like my sis and stuff like that. Mind you, this whole incident happened, I'm gonna say at the beginning of August. We started talking in like June, and the first time we like linked was at the end of June. Well, going on July, because my birthday was June 27th. So yeah, basically July. So damn, it was like a month. So she was all bestie, blah, blah. And it's crazy because I was with her, and every time I was with them all the time, it seemed like now. I'm like, oh, I finally got friends. This is who I be with. Like, you see her, you see me, you see them, you see we, type shit. I was always hanging out with them. Like, they always wanted to do, like, different stuff. At the time, I didn't know this, but basically, she was, I don't know if I can say the word, but if y'all know, y'all know. She was selling herself for the moolah. If y'all understand, y'all understand. But yeah, she was doing that, and at the time I didn't know. So basically Messi was boyfriend pimping, and I didn't know. But he was an artist, a tattoo artist, so basically he had his own like own thing going. So it's not like he worked in a regular 9 to 5 like how I did. She didn't work a regular 9 to 5 how I did. I think she was like 10 to 2. I don't know. She didn't work a regular 9 to 5 like I did. Follower didn't have a job. But every time they would always want to do like something every fucking day, every weekend, and they would like invite me and stuff, but I kind of felt like messed up. So I'm like, y'all always wanting to do some shit and y'all know I gotta work. So I didn't realize that this was being a bad friend. Them being a bad friend was basically encouraging me to call out of work knowing I could get fired. They didn't give a fuck. And at that time, I didn't realize how fucked up it was. My man now, he always encouraged me to go to work. Even when I'd be like, oh, I don't feel like going, I don't want to do this, you know? It's always, shit, you gotta make that money. I've never like met people who just call out, call out, call out. And at the time, the job I was at, they took points. So if you were at a certain amount of points, you was out of there. I just kept calling off, acting like I'm sick, just so I can keep up with these people. I'm like, I'm sitting here trying to keep up with these people and this lifestyle that I know I can't live. I got bills, I got stuff that I'm trying to do, and I'm sitting here changing my ways, fucking my shit off basically for people who don't got nothing to lose. Red flag, always trying to get me to call out of work every fucking day. We was doing Sunsplash. I don't know if y'all know what Sunsplash is. We was going to Top Golf all the time. We was going out to eat. It was summertime, so you know, we living it up summertime. And I'm just like, damn, they want to do all this, and the life that they live in, I'm trying to live because I don't want to go to work. And damn, I wish I didn't have to work like how they don't have to work. But y'all, don't ever let nobody change on and what y'all got going on. We was doing Sunsplash, we was doing Top Golf, we was going bowling, we was just doing events at their house, driving around, just not doing shit. Not doing nothing that was gonna keep some money in my pocket. Day he could turn around and take a client and make some money, but their money wasn't my money, you know. That was for them to survive. I wasn't getting shit out of it. Messi knew like a lot of people, so that meant that a whole lot of people were coming around for him, female wise and dude wise, I hope it don't look like I got a black eye. It was like a whole lot of people coming around for him. And she didn't like it because it was always like different females or whatever. And she would just like talk shit. It would be people that he knew like in school or tattoos that he did, but they were like cool. It was never on no, he's trying to get with them type of shit. But I knew she was like weird and had this like jealousy, not jealousy, like insecurity thing going on with herself. She was pretty, but she wasn't. She had flaws just like all of us, but she wasn't all that. The people that were coming around were pretty basically, but they weren't coming around for that. They were coming around to kick it. It was 4th of July. It was parties going on. People they knew, people that, you know, it was like everybody knew everybody, so people was coming out, but they knew him also. She would always sit there and like talk shit about these people to me. There was one girl that was coming around. I'm not even gonna really give her a name because I don't feel like she should have one, but she started coming around and I just had met her that night. She seemed cool and I could tell that when she came around, she was really pretty, she was mixed, but when she came around, it was like all the attention was just like brought to her. So I can see where she kind of felt like weird in a way. I guess it was because she wasn't getting that attention like how she was. And I noticed that. But I didn't say nothing. I would like listen to her and I just, you know, let her vent because that's what friends do, right? So I would always sit there and let her vent and stuff like that. She'll always be saying that she don't like her. So basically the girl that she was talking about was cool with Messy, and she didn't like that because she was prettier or used to come around and get all the attention. She basically told me one time, I wish I still had all these receipts, but I switched phones and I just didn't care. Like I let that go. Basically, the girl that was coming around, she would always tell me how she's pretty and she feels like she's somebody that Messy would want and leave her for, and she feels like they're not like just friends like they say they are. It's more to it. Right? This is what she was saying. But then on the days where I didn't call out for work and I had to go to work, guess who she was hanging out with? Y'all figured it out yet? She was hanging out with the girl that she just said she didn't like her dude hanging out with. And they all on the gram posting flicks and stuff. And I wasn't jealous or anything because I'm like, okay, we cool or whatever to a certain extent. I'm not jealous. My thing is, if you talking about somebody and you don't like this person and you stressing it how much you don't like them and this and that, you basically wasted my time of me listening to you vent and your time of wasting your breath to tell me some shit. You're gonna go back and be a hypocrite. Basically, you're being hypocritical because you just sat up there and talked all this. Is it hypocritical? Not even hypocritical, you're being fake. Fake, F-A-K-E, yeah, fake. Fake as fuck. You sat up there and talked all this shit about her, but you guys are besties online. And this girl, I knew for a fact she didn't even know that they was talking shit about her. This would go on for days. So then the girl that she claimed she didn't like, that her boyfriend was always around, she just started being around way more. That was a couple red flags, but I just want to say that I just knew, I didn't know actually. I just kept hanging out with him, but it didn't hit me until after. I don't know if y'all know, like when y'all get into it with somebody, that's when everything starts to make sense. Like the reason why they did this or the reason why they did that, you know, everything just starts coming to you after the fact. And you're like, this is why your bitch ass was doing this. And nothing ever occurred to me. I just never thought that she was insecure. I never thought that she was weird. I just was like, okay, she letting out her feelings. Sometimes I need to talk too, you know, like that's just what I got from it. I just thought that was weird. You talking about somebody and you being cool with them. I don't like that. Let the person know if you so real. I'm gonna talk about how me and followers started talking, because this is why it kind of happened the way it happened. Me and him, I don't even know, I wouldn't even say we were necessarily talking. I think I just started liking him a little more than he liked me. Let's just say that. It was one Saturday, I think it was Saturday. Yes, it was Saturday because I worked throughout the week. It was one Saturday that they decided that they wanted to go to like Sunsplash. Again, y'all know, summertime. They wanted to go to like the night slides or whatever. So they was trying to get like people to go. Of course, that's what they did. Try to ask everybody to go. It was me that they asked. He was like, oh, I'm finna come pick you up. Get ready. So we had made the plans or whatever. She came and got me. I already had my little bag. You know, little swimsuit and everything. So I wore something regular because I know how it is with plans and stuff. We weren't like for surely sure if we were going because we wanted a few more people to go so it wouldn't be like boring and it just be me, her, and Messy. So they asked Follower if he wanted to go. Mind you, they considered Follower as their brother. And I was like, okay, you know, people got their little shit going on. He was a little younger than me, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. So they was like their little brother. They took him everywhere with them. Everywhere with Messy, I would say. Everything they did, he was there. And the only way you knew that is because Instagram. They posted everything on Instagram. Well, at least Bucket did. So they called him to see if he wanted to go. He said yes, so the deal was to go pick him up from his side of town. Sorry, y'all, I'm trying to talk and do this. The deal was to go get him and then see who else wanted to go and then go from there. So it was him and a couple more other people that they had asked to go, but they didn't end up going. So we spent the whole day like waiting. Mind you, we figured these plans out early as hell, like around 11. She had picked me up early as hell. And the whole time we sitting there waiting, trying to figure out who else is going. Nobody else wanted to go. So it ended up just being me, Bucket, Messy, and Follower. So we went or whatever, and it seemed cool. And I didn't care to ask like where the girlfriend was, because I was like, okay. At one point before I was cool with them, they was always around him and his girlfriend, I'm just like, are they not together? You know, what's going on? So the night of the sunsplash thing, we went and did night slides and all was vibing and everything. We had a good time. Got tired out and stuff like that. Me and him weren't really talking no sunsplash, but I know he was like playing a lot. You know how some people play around or whatever and joke and flirt or whatever. That's what I felt like he was doing. So we was doing that a lot, but nothing was ever said like, oh, I wanna fuck with you or nothing like that. So I wanna say like on the way home, we had to pass his house to get to our area again. When we were about to get past his area, they asked him, they was like, let us know, because if we got to get off this freeway to go take you home, do you want to go home? And he said no. So this time he said no, and he went back to their house. So she was all like, okay, well, since, and again, I didn't know that this was going on. I didn't know that this is what they were trying to do. But basically, since he said he was gonna stay, I'm fucking up this cut crease. I just fucked it up, but let me do this and then I'll be back, because y'all, I don't know why I decided to do this, because I can't do this and talk at the same time. But anyways, so basically we were talking about how me and him got close, I guess. In the midst of us going home, they asked me if I wanted to stay the night too. And I felt like we was all having a good time, so I kind of was just like, okay, I'll do it. I didn't want the night to end. Again, finally being out again, having friends all over again and stuff. It just felt cool, you know? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go with y'all. So we went back to Messy and freaking I can't even get the name out. Messy and Bucket's house, right? So we went back to their house and you know, they was doing their own thing. Again, they're a couple. Me and him were already flirting and doing what we was doing. So it just seemed like he was feeling the kid. That's what I thought. Don't even come for me. That's exactly what I thought. He was feeling me. But turns out it wasn't like that. It was just to use me, because that's what people fucking do. Not my man now. So basically it was just like to use me eventually, and once I realized. But anyways, me and him was flirting, and I ain't gonna lie, my man already know. I told him the story, whatever. So don't think that y'all doing anything for the haters out there. If y'all are watching and y'all don't like me, he knows everything that already happened. Me and him ended up doing what we did that night. And I could say that, would I say I was desperate? Would I say I was lonely? On top of that, oh yeah, I started talking to him and liking him because of the fact, well, I had like a crush on somebody around that same time, and it just seemed like the person that I had a crush on at the time was like leading me on. Wasn't like really feeling me as much as I was feeling him. So it just seemed like I was wasting my time. So I was like, okay, if I can just start talking to somebody else, it'll take my mind off that. Because I'm not even gonna lie, at the beginning of me and Bucket's friendship, I was sad a lot of the time dealing with the person that I was dealing with, playing games and all that. And I never told her I was talking to, but I did tell her I was talking to somebody at the time. So she would always be like, oh, come out, take your mind off of that. But yeah, me and him did whatever we did or whatever. I don't know. You know how, I don't know, me being a girl speaking, the girls can relate. You know, you think, I don't know why I would have thought this, knowing that we had just like literally kicked it for the first time or just started talking and it was so quick. I just thought that he liked me and things were different. So I'm all being cool the next morning. We all chilling. You know, they making jokes like, oh, we know something had to happen. I guess he opened his mouth and said what he said and told Messy. You know, he was all like, oh, you know, your girl, whatever. And he was all like, nah. And I'm just like, yeah, bitch. I don't know why I was so like stupid around that time, but y'all, I wouldn't say I was young and dumb. I was freaking 22, but I was being stupid and just believing everything. So I'm like, why is he, you know, I'm talking to her like, why is he acting like that? And you know, we just did what he did. He acted like he liked me, and then not even realizing he just literally stopped messing with the girl he was messing with or was into it with her. So it couldn't have been like he moved on that quick. So I don't even know why I was feeling like I had a chance. But I don't know, that night just seemed different. But then like after that night happened, it was like everything just took a turn for the worse. Everything just started happening wrong. And it was like, what the hell? Like, I wish I would never did that. But that happened. So that's how me and him started getting a little close. So I didn't know that Messy had sisters that was always coming around, and I knew nothing about them. One of them messed with Follower, and they clearly left that out. I did not know. The other one, she was just there. But the one that messed with Follower, I'm not even gonna give her name because she's irrelevant, but I guess they had dealings with each other. She was what Bucket was, selling herself or whatever, and they all knew. I didn't know shit about these people, you know. I'm just now coming around. It was like about to be 4th of July, but they had already had plans to go to Messy's family's house for 4th of July. I guess they had to drive to a different city or something. So I'm like waiting for somebody to invite me, you know, thinking I'm gonna be invited. I don't know why. New friend, how the fuck I'm gonna be invited to somebody's family? I guess I assumed that because Follower was invited, but you gotta think about it, they call him his brother. But 4th of July, they freaking went to the family house, and the reason why I found out he was talking to her, which I'm telling you guys this so that you guys can know why this was a red flag. The sister was around and I did not know. They were making like comments like, oh, we don't want her to, they kept saying her name, but I didn't know they was like related. He was related to her, because the way Messy talked about his sister was a way that regardless of if you beefing with your sister or whatever, you shouldn't talk about your family members like that. So he was always like talking shit about her. So I literally just assumed that they weren't as close, or she was just like a random girl or something that they were bringing up. That's how I kept hearing the name, but I didn't know who she was. I've never seen what she looked like. I think I seen one picture, but I didn't know that was her. So they were making the jokes leading up to 4th of July. So 4th of July comes around, they told me that they were gonna pick me up, and they did invite me. They said they were gonna pick me up. So it turns out they ended up not picking me up. I was like, damn, I got dressed, you know, picked out a cute little outfit or whatever, was ready. They were like, oh, we're gonna message you when we get back. Me and Follower had like exchanged numbers, but again, he was acting weird after that night. But for some reason, he ended up texting me. He ended up texting me saying, are you coming to Messy house? And I was like, the nigga was too stunned to speak. Oh yeah, Dad. He just, oh, I'm tripping. She just sent us our photos. But anyways, so basically, the whole 4th of July thing, I'm sorry I keep stopping. I'm gonna try to get through this because we need to get to the nitty gritty. But I'm just trying to tell y'all little incidents so y'all don't just think that I'm just like, why? Why would you, you know, like what was the reason, or was you jealous, or you know, shit like that. So that happened, and he was like, oh, you know, you coming over? And I was like, yeah. So they were like, they were on their way. So I get there, and the sister that he once met with was there. My first time seeing her, my first time meeting her. As soon as I got there, she ended up coming to pick me up from my house, and then we pulled back up to Messy and Bucket's house. As soon as I get there, automatically they're like, get your man, you know, this bitch crazy, she's trying to steal your man, blah, blah. And I'm just like, what? I didn't even think me and him was like a thing. He was acting like he wasn't fucking with me after that, you know, it was just one time thing. So I was like, okay. So I get there, I'm meeting everybody because these are people that I haven't met before. So I guess the sister was like a big drinker, so she was always drunk. So that night she was drunk and like right in my face, like he was like coming to me and like talking to me and stuff like that. Talking to me more than normal, and it was like weird to me because I was like, okay, you're talking to me, but you made it seem like you didn't really want to fuck with me like that. So what is it? He was confusing the hell out of me. So once he was talking to me, I was like, okay, whatever, you know, cool. He actually engaging in conversation with me, trying to be around me, you know, whatever. He wasn't hugged up or nothing, we was just chilling. But every time he would talk to me, this weirdo, the sister, this girl, would come over there and be like, babe, babe, doing all that. I was just like, does she not know that we a thing? In my mind, we were a thing, but we weren't a thing. But does she not know that he don't fuck with her? He been saying he don't fuck with her, and this girl think that they fuck with each other. Like, what the hell's going on? So I'm getting mad or whatever, and I'm saying something to Bucket, and she like, oh, don't trip off of that, she just drunk, she do that all the time, she only doing that because you here, and she know that y'all like talk or whatever. He told her he didn't want to fuck with her, so don't even stress that, you know, like you good. I'm like, okay, I find it weird. So I'm asking him, I'm like, what's up? You acted like you wanted me to come over here, but so every time she would come around, he acted like he just didn't fuck with me like that, right? Like he would act like he didn't know me, let's just say that. So I found that weird. Then every time she would walk away, it was like he was talking to me. So I'm like, okay, so what's really going on? This your girl or something? You texting me acting like you wanted me to come over, asking me when I was coming over, but now you being weird when she come over, you know, when she come up to you and shit like that. And then on top of that, if I'm the person that you trying to fuck with, let this bitch know that I'm here now. You feel me? Like, I don't want no problems or whatever, because it ain't never been that serious, but at the end of the day, I find it disrespectful, like you playing in my face. That happened, and red flag for Bucket. I'm like, okay, you supposed to be my friend and stuff. She never got a warning that this girl was gonna be at the house. It was like I just walked into it. I don't know if she didn't tell me because she knew I probably wasn't gonna want to come, because who wants to be around somebody that they crush or whoever they talk to used to talk to? If that makes sense, because I hope I didn't just not make sense. But I was like, who wants to deal with that or be around that, right? I'm just like, okay, I need to figure that shit out. That's just how I was. I was like, at this point, you figure it out, you let her know what the fuck is up, or I'm going home. So he was acting like he didn't want me to leave and shit or whatever. I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay. I ended up staying that night. He stayed too, and then the sister and them ended up going home because they were so drunk. So we stayed the night at Bucket's and Messy's house, and we was chilling that night. Next morning after 4th of July, one of the sisters, the other sister, she was cool with me. Like, she was all like, what's up, Lex, blah, blah, blah. I introduced myself, we was cool. But then that next morning, I needed a ride home because I left my car, and Bucket had an appointment, if y'all know what I mean. I didn't know at the time. I'm thinking like, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I was oblivious, but she had an appointment, so she couldn't even take me to my house, and I had to go to work. So basically, Messy and Oliver was there asking if the sister's dad, their dad can take me home. And first they asked one sister that was cool with me that night. Then she was all like, who the fuck is that? Like, I don't know her, what the fuck? She was just being weird, and I was just like, but you just was talking to me, you know, last night, like, you know me for years and type shit, you know. So that I find it weird that you doing all this now, like you trying to do too much. So the dad and the sister that messed with follower ended up taking me home. Went home, that was just that. I told Bucky what happened, went to work and everything, and I was like, I was kind of irritated because I was at that point where I was kind of like paranoid in a way, because I was like, if me and him mess with each other and I just left and went to work, and this girl is about to go back to the house where he is and they used to mess with each other, what the hell is gonna happen while I'm gone? You know, I was stuck on stupid, but I couldn't really do much, you know. Oh my god, I need to change my battery. Moral of that, hold on, let me zoom y'all in. Moral of the whole reason I brought that up is just because I felt like, as a friend, if you know that you like cool with me, and all that. And again, I wasn't really expecting like a whole bunch of loyalty, but the way she was putting everything on thick, I would have expected her to like, what's the word? Be honest with me. You should have told me that this person was gonna be here. It was like I was blindsided by the whole situation. So I had went to work. Everything was fine. Again, I didn't know what was going on. She would like text me and tell me, oh, he not fucking with her. You don't got nothing to worry about. And I was venting and he was always around. And I noticed that he never went back home. So I don't know when the next time I was gonna be back over there, because I was just trying to go to work. I've been calling out, I need to be at work. So I wasn't, not saying worried about going over there, but I was worried about going over there because I felt like a need to be in the loop, because I just felt like I was being left out, which I don't know why I did. But I think that's like majority of the red flags. If I think of something, it would just be like side stories. I'm sorry y'all, this is my first story time, and a lot of people remember things vividly, but since I put this in the past behind me, I'm not making shit up. I'm literally just trying to remember. It was so much shit that happened, so I'm just trying to piece it together right now, because it was like so much shit that happened that led up to the whole fight. But everything's like coming to me the more and more I talk, y'all. We was like, I felt, again, two peas in a pod. We had just met, but it seemed like, again, you see her, you see me. A lot of people was just like, okay, y'all always together. It just became that. Mind you, it felt like forever. The whole time this shit was a month. Ain't no way that I thought that me and her was like sisters. Ain't no way. I was getting into it with, it was like a whole bunch of shit going on with follower. I was getting into it with his ex, the one that they were around at the time, because she felt like they were being fake, because they was in her face smiling and stuff whole time. They done set this nigga up on a blind date with me, not even a blind date, but they done set him up with me. So she feeling some type of way, and me, I don't know what's going on. So I'm arguing with the girl because she coming at me disrespectful whole time. We both looking stupid. So that was the whole situation. We almost fought and everything, and I met up and everything to fight her. She pepper sprayed herself, and that was that. And that's a whole different story if y'all want to know about that, but I don't think that's really a story to tell, because it wasn't really much to it. She just was dumb and shit just happened to her at the end. So I was just going through a whole lot of shit dealing with them, like drama. They instigated that whole situation. They made it seem like I was starting shit with the ex whole time. They were posting shit on their Instagram of me and him, us hanging out. So she would see that and then be like, oh, we fucking with each other and you with this bitch, blah, blah, blah. So basically, he was running game whole time. He acting like he ain't messing with her to me, but on the low, he over there texting her and shit. I did not know that. They acted like they didn't know. But mind you, I'm not around all the time. This is my first time being around them like that. So I didn't know what their situation was, if they did this all the time, or if this was just something they was used to doing. I did not know that. So that was going on, like drama after drama. Even when I was about to fight, the girl Bucket, she like left me hanging. I'm like, what's up? You trying to, like, the girl was basically asking him, she was like trying to fight Bucket too. Bucket was scared. She was like asking Bucket, she was like, that's how you do, you've been in my face smiling and blah, blah, blah. She was like, I didn't do nothing. It's between you and her. The girl was literally telling like, y'all set this up and y'all know I be around y'all all the time and I be in y'all face. That's just fake to me. My feelings hurt. She going in on him. Whole time, they making it out like it's my fault. Like I started the shit. I'm like, I didn't know nothing was going on. I knew he had a girlfriend, but obviously he was like, when he made that call that night, they was done with each other. But I didn't know that they was like on and off. I didn't know the extent to their relationship. I was single and I didn't give a damn. That's just how I was. I was trying to satisfy my needs. I was worried about me at the time. So that happened. Her birthday was coming up in what was it, July? Was it July? I think it was August or something, or July. It was sometime in July. She was planning this Vegas trip, and we all decided that we were gonna go. And me, of course, I'm like, I'm not letting y'all go without me. I gotta be around this man. And me and him weren't even like a thing, even after all that shit happened. Mind you, oh, I forgot to say this. Every time we were doing something, the Topgolf, the going out to eat, the whatever we was doing, y'all, I was paying for it. I forgot to say that. Mind you, he do tattoos. If he's charging big money for the tattoos he do, wouldn't you think he would have money? She's doing her, you know, her job. That's fast money. Wouldn't you think she had money? Obviously she wasn't that good, but you know, it's just stuff like that. I was always paying for stuff. So that was a red flag too. It never occurred to me that I was being used as an ATM. They were having me around because I would pay. And they'll be like, oh, we want to do this, but we don't got enough money. Guess what my dumb ass would do? Oh, I'll pay for it. And then they'd be like, oh, we gonna pay you back. We gonna pay you back. You think they paid me back for anything? Or it was, oh, I got the money, but I can't get it out right now. You think they paid me back for anything? Or I'm gonna pay you back tonight after she do her little run. Do you think they paid me back? I'm gonna let y'all answer that. Hell motherfucking no, they didn't pay me back. So that was like a fucking slap in the face right there within itself. They never paid me back for shit that they did. And my dumbass would just always just go for it. And I don't know how dumb I could be. But I was just stupid. And I was just always like, I wanted friends so bad that I was just willing to get dogged out. So we planned the Vegas thing or whatever for her. I'll just tell y'all this part before I go. So we planned the Vegas thing for her, and it was gonna be us going to Vegas. It was her, it was Bucket and Messy, me and Follower. And they were gonna get a room and we were gonna get a room in the same hotel. But we were trying to get them next to each other, but it ended up being like away from each other. I'm not gonna really tell this full story if y'all want this Vegas story, because that was the first time I ever been to Vegas and it was a trip from hell. And I don't like Vegas because of that. That was the worst experience ever. How y'all be saying that y'all friendships get fucked over in Miami. Vegas did it for me. So everything just started hitting the fan in Vegas. Before we even left, I was trying to find a way to get off work, because remember I said me calling off gave me points and I would be fired. So I had to call in sick, take sick leave. Sick leave was only 3 days. I had to do shit like that just so I can be around them. And it was just fucked up. And my thing was, it was like peer pressure. If I don't go, then I'm gonna miss out on the fun. I ain't gonna know what he doing. So I was just dumb. Settling, yes. It didn't make sense for why I was doing what I was doing, and at all. It did not make sense. And we were arguing because I was talking about, mind you, Follower never had money. And he was messing with me because I had the money and I was providing the stuff. So keep in mind, that's why he was like fucking with me, but not really fucking with me because of the money situation. So when we were going to Vegas, basically I was gonna be his caretaker in Vegas while Messy and Bucky did their thing. So I'm sitting here trying to count my change, mind you, calling out of work all the time, so I really didn't have money like that. Counting my change, trying to make sure me and him gonna be good. Everything hit the fan in Vegas. Let's just say everything hit the fan in Vegas. True colors, everything started showing. She got worse with her insecurities. We almost got into it in Vegas. She was being weird, mad because she was acting like a bad friend. I cried the first night, literally. And her dude checked up on me, and that's when everything just happened. From there, we got back to Sacramento. We wouldn't have got back if it wasn't for me. I had to pay for gas. I had to make sure the tank was filled the way there and the way back, because they had no money. I ended up paying for her room too, and she was gonna pay me back, never did. So I paid for 2 rooms. I made sure we had gas, but they wanted to do all this shit, circus. They wanted to go to fucking what's that mall in Vegas? It's that mall where it looks like hella cool and inside. They wanted to do all that, going to Balenciaga and all that, and I'm like, well, what money? Because I'm not spending it. I ain't got Balenciaga money. I gotta make sure I get back to Sacramento or I ain't going back home. I'm gonna be out of a job. Mom cussed me out the whole time. So that's just like a little side story of why we're about to get to why the fuck we fought. We get back to Sacramento. We make it back. I think I started coming to my senses. It was like I was always broke. I was missing work, so I couldn't even make money to not be broke. They was using me. I just was like not being happy. On our way back, and I had to freaking pay for all the gas and realized that I literally only had, I want to say maybe $30 to my name, and my car wasn't the best car. Like, it was messed up, so I kept having to get oil changes every time it started making this noise. I had an Infinity 2003 yeah, 2003. So it was making this noise. So I had like $30 to my name. Couldn't ask my mom because me and her was into it. I barely had a place to stay, and they was just feeding off that shit because they knew my situation with my mom and my home life. And that's where I went wrong, thinking I had friends to tell them my business and let them in my business, because they used that against me too. So we get back to Sacramento, and I think I came to my senses. I started being home more. I started going to work. I said, fuck it. We just not gonna kick it, and he wanna do all this, because in Vegas, he let me know that he was using me. He texted my phone and said he was using me. He didn't want shit to do with me, and to stop and to leave him alone. So that whole car ride home, I did not say nothing to him, and that was that. This was follower. Yeah, so I went my own way. Bucky would text me trying to hang out, and I was just like, I'm cool, you know, I'm working. You know, I was coming up with all these excuses so that I didn't have to hang out with them. Let me go wet my sponge so I can finish this story. Okay, y'all, so basically, yeah, I was just ducking and dodging her. Honestly, I didn't really tell her I didn't want to be her friend, but I noticed that the more I was dodging her, the more time she was spending with that one girl. I remember, keep in mind, at the beginning of the story, I said it was that girl she was talking about. She didn't want her dude around, right? And I would see it on Instagram. So I was seeing the shit, you know, I'm at work, why is this doing this? I don't know what point she was trying to prove, but I just felt like it was fake as hell. So she all on Instagram hanging out with them and stuff like that. I was really over it. I find that so weird. So I really was just not talking to her at all. I started hanging back out with this girl. She knew my brother, because her baby dad was my brother's friend, right? So I was hanging out with them, and I'm letting her, you know, she knew them too. She claimed she didn't like the girl that follower was dealing with, which was Messi's sister, because her baby dad was going over there at one point, and it was like a rumor going around that her baby dad and her did something, so she didn't like them. So I'm going thinking I can vent to her, you know, letting her know what was going on, and I was able to, you know, I'm getting my frustration out. I'm like, I will never kick it with them again, you know. I should have just kept doing makeup. I'm doing makeup right now. I was like, I should have just kept like getting tattoos done and leaving it at that. It should never been like no friendship with it, you know. I should have just kept it professional, because it's like I lost a lot of money dealing with them. I'm telling her all this stuff that's going on, and I'm hanging out with her. You know what's so weird? That whole day went by, and I literally just didn't talk to them no more. And I get an Instagram call from Mercier, right? It wasn't like I stopped getting tattoos from him, but I wasn't getting tattoos in a while, and since we were always around each other, he was never talking to me without her being around, just because of how insecure she was. If we was talking without her being around, it was something. She thought something was going on. So he called me, and you know what's so weird? When he called me, he called while he was in the shower. The shower was running, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, why are you calling me while you're in the shower? I thought that was so weird and like corny. And I was like, what's up? They didn't know I wasn't like really fucking with them like that, but I was just like, what's up, what you want? He was like, are you around anybody, right? And mind you, when they was like, when she was hanging out with that girl and stuff, they was doing like, they was going to the pool. They was doing shit that we was doing when we were cool, but they had went to the pool that one night, and I seen them, they were like getting hella close. Her and the girl that she was talking about, Bucket and the girl. That's when I was like, okay, that shit is weird. So I just let that be that. So this is why I'm bringing this back up. So he called, he said, are you around anybody right now? I said, no. Whole time I was, he didn't know that. I had told her to be quiet so he could tell me what's going on. So he ended up talking to me. He was like, when I tell you this, don't repeat this. Don't go and say nothing to Bucket. So he goes, Bucket was talking shit about you the other night when we was at the pool. And then I was all like, what was she saying? And then on top of that, I'm like, why are you telling me this? Ain't that your girl? He was like, no, because I just feel like you should know. It's hella weird because how she did you in Vegas and stuff like that. Mind you, remember when I told you she was mad because he came and checked up on me in Vegas when she was being a badass friend that night when I was like crying and shit. Like hella shit happened that night, and I was like out of it, and he checked on me instead of her. And that's when she just was like, oh, you know, you like her or something, you know, like being one of them. So that happened, right? And I was just like, why are you telling me? You know, you would think like your loyalty is with her. You don't owe me shit at the end of the day. Let the bitch talk shit. So then he was like, but don't say nothing, no. Don't even tell her I'm the one that told you. But she was talking shit about you and how I ain't a real friend. She didn't like how I was acting in Vegas or something along the lines. I really don't even remember what it was, but I just know that he called to tell me that she was talking shit about me. and to not repeat it. I was already mad at the bitch and how she was acting. So just to get that call, it was basically confirming what I thought. Cause I ain't gonna lie, when the times that I was going to work and how she was hanging out with them and shit, I just knew, like, if you can come to me and talk shit about the girl that you claim you don't like, that's being around your dude, but then you going to go hang out with her, you could talk shit about me. So he said that. He was like, don't tell her I called you. Don't tell her I called you. He was like, oh shit, I think she coming, right? Mind you, he's in the bathroom with the shower running. Weird as fuck. So I'm like, I don't even give a fuck. I was already on one. Instantly. Boop, 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 boop. Called her ass. I said, so what's going on? You was talking shit about me? She like,
what are you talking about? Girl, what are you talking about?
Mind you, she laughing on the phone like the shit is funny. Whole time, I'm dead serious. Like, bitch, what do you mean? Like, what are you trying to do? So she's like,
what are you talking about? You're delusional. You're delusional.
A motherfucker always delusional. When they find some shit out, they always delusional when they trying to check the person about it. So she was like, you're delusional as fuck. You're delusional as fuck, right? Getting smart. Mind you, when we was in Vegas, when that shit, I want to tell that Vegas story. Let me know if y'all want it. But when we was in Vegas and that shit happened, I was already sparing her. I don't gotta tell nobody what I'm capable of or anything. If I'm like trying to give you the benefit of the doubt and calming myself down after you're trying to get smart with me or anything, it's because I'm sparing your ass. Like, I'm not trying to give you this ass whooping of a lifetime. So when we were in Vegas and we got into it, I like walked away because I was just like, I'm not doing this with you. I'ma just let that be. And if you want to take it there, we can take it there. So she on the phone calling me delusional, saying all this, right? And then hung up in my face. So tell me why this motherfucker messy, right after she did that, he didn't even call me back. He texted me back and he goes, you're hella weird for telling her. What the fuck? Oh God, you're hella weird. Why the fuck would you tell her what I just told you? I looked. I was blocked. Right after Missy sent that. I looked at her account. I was blocked. It said user not found. So I was like, what the fuck? At that point, I'm just irritated. So I get to texting. Me and follower was already not cool. Anyways, and we already went our separate ways or whatever. But he like had me blocked or something at one point. But no, he didn't block me until this day. But I freaking texted him and I went in on his ass. And I was just like, oh, so let your fake ass brother and your sister know that it's up, basically. Y'all being hella messy, y'all hella weird. And then he was just like, get off my phone with that shit, bitch, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, bitch. Oh, okay. I let that be. And me and him just going back and forth. He like, quit texting my phone. But once I'm started, I can't stop. I ain't gonna lie, when I was going off on him, I kept texting his phone, blowing his phone up, talking shit. That's how I do. I gotta get the last word in. Bitch, you ain't getting the last shit. I'm just going in on his ass. And then eventually I stopped texting because I was like, I gotta go to work anyways. I'm like wasting my time. So I leave the girl house or whatever, and I'm just like, that's just so weird. A couple more days go by. And I don't know what was in me. I had just got my hair done right and I was feeling myself, but I still was mad at the simple fact of how, what's his name? What do I call him? I was still mad at the fact that of how he did me. If I tell that Vegas story, y'all gonna know what I mean, but what he said to me was hurtful. I was just like going back, talking shit. I don't know, it was just random. So I can say that I started the fight, but all this shit led up to, she's the reason why all this shit happened. But I started it. Well, I started the fight. But anyways, so I texted him talking shit. And I think I said something along the lines is, you're hella weird. This is really how you gonna do me. I said something stupid. I'm mad I don't got the receipts because I can really tell you. I don't want to be seeming like I'm making this shit up because this is not a story that's made up. Like, I would not sit here and just try to make some fucking random story up. But I was like, how could you say some weird shit like that to me? Mind you, I was covering all his expenses and we weren't together. We weren't talking. We weren't nothing. He wanted to do art. I freaking bought him like an iPad pen or some shit like that. So I'm talking shit like, give my shit back, blah, 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 you know, that type of stuff. And I'm doing all that. And I think the last message he sent me before he blocked me, he texted me and said, don't worry about it. I'm finna have my sister beat your ass. He has a sister. I used to go to school with her as well as him, but she's like in a higher grade. She was in a higher grade than me and him. So I'm like, okay, I ain't never scared. Whole time the sister that he meant was Bucket. Bucket was the sister that was gonna beat my ass. I'm on my way home, you know, I got my hair freshly done. I think I had got like 4 braids. You know, them motherfuckers is tight. And at that time, I like long ass hair. So my braids was like all the way down to my ass, right? So I get home and I'm taking my pictures. I had work that night, but like my hair freshly done. After I just argued with him, he said what he said and blocked me. I left it at that. I'm like, whatever. I'm not even gonna keep arguing with this motherfucker because it's not even no point to argue anymore. Like, what am I really arguing with you for? There's not really no fucking point. So he, I guess I get home, right, from getting my hair done. I only like drove up the street because my hair appointment wasn't hella far. As soon as I get home, the girl's house that I was at, that I said baby dad knew my brother, she calls me and I'm like, hello, you know, like, what's up? She was like, what are you doing? She was all like, well, I'm just telling you this now because follower just called. I guess they all knew each other. They knew my brother. So him and my brother and her baby dad, all them knew each other. So she was like, yeah, follower just called my baby dad and asked if you were over here, and we told them no. So then it was like, okay, well, we about to pull up to her house, don't say nothing. What? So I'm like, okay. Mind you, my mom just left. My brother just left because he was doing football at the time. He was gonna be in the field somewhere or doing something. So he had just left with his friends. I'm at the house by myself. So you think y'all finna jump me? No. So I instantly, it was done because it seemed like every time I got into it, I never told my mom and them what was going on until shit actually started hitting the fan, because motherfuckers wasn't that bold. So they say it was coming to my house, right? So I'm all calling my mom and say, you know, letting her know. I'm like, they talking about they gonna pull up. I got into it with them. So she didn't know the whole time that we was into it, but I think she did start realizing that after I came back from Vegas, I wasn't going out as much. I was like being home and not hanging out with them like I was. So she knew. So she was like, let me call your brother or whatever and let him know so that, you know, we can be ready. Hold on. So she calls him and I call him too, and he's like, what's going on? So I'm sitting there trying to explain to him. He's like, all right, whatever, you know, I'm finna be there, give me a minute. He was all the way across town, so it was gonna take my brother a minute to get back. My mom, she had some shit to do. I don't even remember where she was, but she was gone. She was gone, so it was like she couldn't get there as quick. So am I instigating that? So I called follower and I'm like, so you said you was about to do what? You come to my house, you doing what? And he was all like, I said what I said. And then he hung up in my face. He started texting, yeah, my sis finna whoop your ass like I told you she was finna whoop your ass. So I'm like, at this point, I don't give a fuck. It's me against everybody. Pull up. If they ain't here yet, they can just pull up in the midst of me whooping your sister ass. Then how about that? The whole time I'm just waiting and I'm like, okay, y'all really trying to do this shit and I got work. I'm not ready, but I'm ready at this point. Like, if you threatening me and saying you gonna do something, and then on top of that you calling, trying to do secret pop-ups or whatever y'all want to call it, like I'm trying to pop up. So I'm talking shit to make it hit where it hurt because my feelings was hurt, and then you talking about you finna pop up and shit like that, you know. So remember I told you we stayed 7 minutes away, right? They were all at Bucket and Missy's house, right? I'm like waiting, I'm like, make it snappy, like a bitch gotta go to work. Is you coming or what? Like y'all acting like y'all was gonna pop up and pull up on me without me knowing. But now that I'm ready, where's the same energy? Like, y'all was supposed to been already here. Like y'all was the ones that said y'all was doing all of this. Like what's up? So I waited. Mind you, my brother was across town, right? He ended up getting there before them. He brought all his friends. He made sure, because first of all, I'm thinking it was just gonna be them. They had a whole, I thought it was just them. So my brother, I think he brought like 2 friends, because again, Messy, follower, and then the girl. So it's him and then somebody else or whatever, and then somebody that just can be there just in case. So we still waiting. Nobody came. I started work at 7 o'clock. No, I started at 7:30. If I tell y'all these motherfuckers pulled up at 6:50, when I tell y'all, they pulled up. So we used to stay in this house and it was like a circle. If y'all know what a circle is, like you go in this way, but it's like literally a circle. Our house is way back there. They pulled up all the way down the street. They wouldn't pull up to the house like they said they would. They parked all the way down the street. I don't know if they thought nobody was gonna be able to see them, or they was trying to, what they were trying to accomplish. But we kept looking out the window. He's like, okay, where they at? Like, we trying to be ready. My brother was like, wait, don't go. Okay, this is like the second time somebody pulled up to my house. So this time when it happened, every time somebody threatened to pull up, I don't give a fuck. Like, you can have whatever. You gotta be a dumb motherfucker to pull up to somebody's house. Talking shit like you gonna beat my ass, right? So, one thing you're not gonna do, you're not gonna pull up to my house and beat my ass in front of my house. I ain't going out like that. That's going outside. That's one thing I won't do. Two, you fucking did all that. So, you gonna stand down the street? That's what you gonna do? So, I think I had on some sweats or whatever, or pajamas. I don't remember what I had on, some sweats. Put on my tennis shoes and I get to walking down the street. I said, fuck that. So I start walking down the street, just doing it. I'm like, you know, I'm doing it. I didn't give a fuck. I was ready. Like, you talked all this shit, I waited for your ass, and then you thought that I was, it's like she thought I was weak because all them times I let her slide, even in Vegas. Like, if y'all would have known what she did while we was out there, I let her ass slide, like dead ass let her slide. And I don't know if she thought, cause she was like a little taller than me, like height wise. So I don't know if she thought that just because she was like a little taller, she had like one up. But nah, I get it in with anybody and I don't give a fuck. So I'm walking up and you know, I don't do talking. We did all of our talking over the phone. We did all that talking when you called me delusional. You did all your talking when you was talking shit about me to everybody else. So I'm walking up and I'm just like, and I don't see her. So I'm like, where Bucket at? Where the bitch at? Where the bitch at? I was like, your sister's gonna beat me up, so where's she at? Like, I'm ready. If I tell y'all this bitch gets out the car. I guess, I don't know if they thought she was like Mike Tyson or something, like she was getting ready for the rumble of the century. This bitch, I tell you, she gets out of the car with some baby doll flats on. If I gotta post a picture on the screen of what they are, if y'all know, y'all know. She gets out of the car, bruh. She gets out of the fucking car with some baby doll flats on, y'all. Baby doll flats. Them little ballerina ones from Payless. Yes, them. She gets out of the car with them on. If I thought I was gonna beat your ass the first time, I know I'm gonna beat your ass now. Ain't no way your dude set you up like that. He ain't try to tell you to put on no tennis shoes, no nothing. You get out of the car with some baby doll flats on. So I walk up and it's like she wasn't ready. It's like she just was ready to take that L. I had to do a double take at the shoes, y'all. Them shoes was horrible. And to be so honest, she couldn't dress the whole time we was hanging out. Should I demonstrate it on Pinky? I think I'm gonna demonstrate it on Pinky. Hold on, let me turn it this way. And my booty looks saggy, don't say nothing. She get out of the car and she like, what's happening? Right? So I'm like, it took me a minute again. I'm processing the shoes. I shouldn't even been worried about what type of shoes she got on, but I'm processing them shoes because there's no way you wear that shit to a fist fight. So I woke up, she's like, so what was all that you was talking? You know, a bitch to talk. I didn't want to talk, so I instantly just decked her ass in her shit. That's what I did, decked her ass in her shit. We was just going toes, just going. It wasn't even like we was going toes. She was pulling my hair the whole time. Remember I said I had just got these long ass braids. So I had wrapped my hair in a scarf and I put my hair in a bonnet. But of course when you fight, the first thing motherfuckers go for is your hair. So I'm just like, don't, just feeding into her ass, just feeding into her ass. And she like this, right? She got my hair like this, right? And I'm just, I don't know, I just was like trying to take her down, like hella. So I finally went like this and I was able to like dip her ass and I dipped her. And I said, yeah, bitch. I was like, what was all that? What was all that? What was all that? And she still was like holding my head the whole time. So I'm just like, man, that hungry because I was feeding it to her ass. So then I'm just doing that, right? And I told the girl, I used to call her my sister, girl with Big Daddy, whatever, knew my brother, her. She didn't need a name, but I used to call her my sister. We called each other sis. I'm like, she was there too, and it pissed me off because she was acting like she was gonna do something to the other girl. I hate when people be like, oh, you fight, I'm fighting, blah, blah, blah. She doing what she doing on the side, just watching. And I'm like, get this off my hair, just break it. Like, you know, I was just done because I know I whooped you. So I'm just over it. I'm tired of fighting. I'm ready. I got work. I still gotta go to work. So I'm like, get this bitch off my hair. So I guess you come and like grab a girl's hands to get off my hair. And I like let her go. And I was like, period. She's still, this is her. She's still on the ground like this, holding her eye. And I was like, period. Picked up my scarf, my headscarf, and I did it moving. My brother was over there fighting too. He was fighting, hold on, he was fighting follower. and his cousin, I guess he brought his cousins or whatever. They came like hella deep for no reason, just to get their ass beat. So they tried to jump my brother and whatever, long story short. So they fighting, doing what they doing or whatever, right? And then after that, it was just done not. I was like, I don't know if y'all ever been in a fight before and then y'all had to go to work right after. Man, I was doing everybody work. My adrenaline was rushing. I was like in a good mood. I was all like, I did what I had to do. At the end of the day, I knew I was gonna do it to her ass. I feel better about it because like, put some fucking respect on my name. Like, no, but I feel better about it because I basically gave you what you deserved. I wasn't doing shit but being a friend, you know, so that like, it hurt me. And then even after that, I felt bad for the because I knew she was lost. I don't know what it is. Something was like up with her. I'm mad because I can't get into my old Instagram and I got my old highlights on there so I can like clip them in here. And I'm mad because I told the girl that came, that was calling my sis, to fucking record, and she had her like little cousin record it or whatever, but he was scared to like come towards it or something. I don't know what it was. I just told him to like record it, but he was like standing way back there to where you couldn't see, and then the sun was just gleaming so you couldn't see shit. I'll still try to put that in there just so y'all could see that like this did happen. I went to work feeling good. I was like, I'll do your work, I'll do your work, I'll do your work, you know, like adrenaline just going. I was on one. She gonna post on Instagram talking about that didn't do nothing. The only thing she did was make my nose bleed. Why would you post that? You just made yourself look stupid. Regardless if it was just a nosebleed. I'm not posting trying to explain what a person did to me if I didn't get my ass beat. I don't really give a damn. It was like an ongoing thing for like a week probably because, oh yeah, so right after they was pulling off, right? They hurried up and skirted off after old girl got beat up. So y'all remember the sister, right, that I said, the one that was messing with follower. She didn't say shit. They just driving off. I was like, I'll beat everybody. You know, like, I was talking shit after that fight. I'm like, I'll beat everybody else. I don't give a fuck. Da da da. Anybody can get it. So she was the only one that came to the fight. I was like, if y'all want it, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, I'm talking shit. I'm like, yeah, y'all pulled up to my house. Da da da. I'm just talking shit. Then I guess they drive off. So after she posted what she posted talking about, she didn't really get beat up and I just made her bleed and blah blah blah. After she posted that, why did the sister start messaging me? I never followed the sister, nothing. The sister gonna message me talking about some yeah, what was that you said when we was pulling off? I'll beat your ass, da da da. All I said to her was, I said, where was the energy at when you were here? Cause she was here. Why you want to talk shit when you leave? And then after that, I left it at that. She kept trying to argue. I left her on red. I said, you know where I stay. Y'all just left from over here. So it's only space and opportunity if you really want that. I never heard from them again. And I was like hurt because I was like, I never had to whoop a friend ass. I never had to really do a friend in like that. So I posted on Instagram, everybody was like, it was that girl that she was with the pink hair. It was that girl, and I was just like, yep, sadly. And I kept having to explain the story because it didn't make sense. Everybody was like, you just was with her, like you was always with her, y'all was always posted. No, I was hurt. And I told them, I was like, bruh, to have a solid friend like me and you gonna sit here and talk shit about me, it came to this, you know. So yeah, I just never expected to have to fight somebody that I called my friend. I didn't expect to have to go through that. I didn't want to be friends with nobody. After that incident, I was like, I don't want friends. I didn't want to be cool with nobody. I stayed to myself, and still to this day, it's another incident, another story time that I have that really like put the icing on the cake with having friends. I spent a lot of money, wasted a lot of money, wasted my time for people to just do me like dirt. But yeah, I don't know, I just wanted to tell this story because I feel like I could talk about this now, because before I didn't want to like bring it up because everybody kind of knew who the people were and I was just tied to that situation for so long. But it's 2022, we're finna be 2023, so I just thought I'd tell y'all. I know it's kind of all over the place. I tried to like do bullet points in my notes just to try to, you know, keep me in order, but that was kind of hard because these events, it was so many events that happened. It was hard to start from beginning to end. It was just so much shit that happened in between that time. It was like, okay, do I tell a side story and then tell y'all this, or how do I do it? And then this is my first story time video, so I really didn't know how to come with this. I tried, y'all, but if y'all enjoy this video or y'all want to see more story time looks, I'll make it like a little chronicle, I guess, like a makeup chronicle thing. I think I can make this a thing on my channel. If y'all like this video and y'all want to see more of these type of videos, leave a comment below. Feel free to DM me. My socials are always somewhere in this video or in the description box, somewhere on my page. If y'all want a certain video from me, DM me, let me know, because I'm willing to do whatever to keep y'all entertained for those of you that watch me. I hope I did good for my first story time. I know, like I said, I was all over the place, but I hope I did good. But this is the end of the video, and I hope y'all like this look as well. Y'all see my little extension lashes? I'm starting to grow more into them and actually like them. I wore these yesterday too, but y'all see my little freestyle look with my Barbie ponytail. I know it's a bit dark, but it's something. I like the look. Hopefully y'all can like see it. But yeah, y'all, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, y'all, all that good stuff that I said at the beginning of the video. Make sure y'all do that. Share this video, tell a friend and tell a friend. Let them know again that your girl is back. I'm back and I'm better, and it's only gonna get better, y'all. More content on the way, just stay tuned. But yeah, y'all, we out.